Hello Bladers, it's Silva here. And I will be just introducing some people to Beyblade X. I'll be using my Vaga here, and yeah, let's just show what the thing is. So, let's start with the Beyblade. How is each bay built? Now, it can be separated into three main parts, which are the blade, the ratchet, and the bit. There's also the CX line, which can be separated into more parts, but they're not exactly important, so I will just keep that. They're kind of like advanced things. Now, let's start with how you gain points. Now, if you spin for longer than your opponent, then that's a spin finish. If your opponent bursts into multiple parts, like for example, if the bit goes out, if the ratchet separates or the blade breaks, then that's a burst and you get 2 points. Now, if you knock your opponent into these two pockets, into one of these two pockets, well, that's an overfinish and you'll get once again 2 points. But if you knock your opponent into this pocket, this specific pocket, that's an extreme finish and you get 3 points. Now, if you're wondering about the placement of this pocket, well, it's because it is very much connected with the extreme line. And you can usually just only extreme if you do an extreme dash first, but it's usually not that like that. You can pretty easily knock your opponent in. But if you're wondering what the extreme line is, well, that's just like a series of teeth that can be that the bit, the gears on the teeth, the bit can connect on, and then just speed up to astronomical speeds and absolutely demolish your opponent. Now, this does benefit attack types a lot more than the other types, and I'll get to types very soon, but what you need to understand is that there's also different amounts of teeth for each bit. Now, for example, some bits have only 10 teeth on their gears, and those bits are very slow. They move very slowly on the extreme line and conserve a lot more stamina than 12 gear bits. And 12, this is a standard. Most Beyblades go like this fast. And 16 allows for like wider tips and such, but it is also kind of a nerf, because at this point, the extreme line becomes kind of dangerous and can drain your stamina a lot. It just absolutely drains your stamina. And if you miss an extreme dash, then that's kind of already the end of the game, basically. Now, there's also two exceptions, which are merge and yielding. These two bits have higher bit counts than the others, but they don't exactly matter. But you know, there are exceptions, so I have to list them here. Now, the bits also have like this burst resistor band here. If there is no burst resistor band, then the Beyblade bursts a lot easier than if it has this. This one basically almost makes the Beyblade unburstable, but like there is still burstable, but a lot. It's very hard. You will rarely see this kind of ratchet burst, whereas this one bursts a lot. Now, the hard resistance bits usually come with attack and balance types. As I was saying, attack and balance types, while low resistance bits come with stamina and defense types. Now, attack types are usually heavy, they are very aggressive, they are very fast, they have very sharp shapes, their contact points are angled, are sharp again, and they basically want to knock you out here, or burst you. Spin finishes are very hard for them, but they can still pull them off if they manage to destabilize their opponent. Now, defense types, counter-attack types. By that I mean they're stable, they're heavy, They usually hang out around the center, and they're also slightly imbalanced most of the time. So they have a little bit of a tilt, and that allows them to grip the stadium better and not get knocked out. Now, the next type, stamina, counters defense. Stamina types are rounder than defense types. They spin for a lot longer than defense types, and they're balanced. Now what this means is that because defense types do not have enough recoil to knock stamina types out, they usually succumb to the spin loss, and stamina types win by outspin. Now, attack types absolutely demolish stamina types. And that's basically kind of the Pokemon type triangle thing, but in Beyblade. Now, balance types have an identity crisis because they're neither attack types, neither stamina types, or neither defense types, but something in between. Like they're very specific, but usually they are a combination of attack with stamina or defense, and they usually come with hard resistance rates. There are exceptions, of course, but I will not be talking about it right now. Also, let's talk about ratchets now. Ratchets have basically numbered sides. Now, the numbers go from 0 to 9. And basically, what this means is how many contact points the ratchet has. For example, 0 ratchet has no contact points. 1 has 1 big contact point. 2 has 2 contact points. 3 has 3, 4 has 4, you get the idea. Now, some are better than others, obviously, and half of them are basically kind of a recycled 3-sided ratchet. But they also have another thing, and that is they have a height. Now, height basically determines the distance between the bit base here and the blade. And these are basically millimeters. So 50 is 5 millimeters. So that means that the ratchet is basically 5 millimeters from the bit. 60 means that it's 6 millimeters, 70 that it's 7, 80 that it's 8. Now, there's also different things, so usually you want to have a lower height, usually. But 70 and 80 heights, they have higher burst resistance. They're more resistant to bursting than 60 heights. But 60 heights are also just a bit more hidden, they're harder to hit, so this benefit kind of evens out. Now, 80 heights are basically useless, do not use 80 heights. 70 and 50 are basically the only valid ones. And these heights are affected by this. Now, there are also heights that are unaffected by the burst band, and these are called simple ratchets or the in-between heights. Now, you should never use these ones. I will not explain why. You just shouldn't. They're hard to burst. They wear down your launcher prongs. I mean, not your launcher, your ratchet prongs, and just they aren't good. They're also lighter than this, so no reason to use them basically. Now, also you need to look for the weight on the blade, and I made a simple like spreadsheet thing that you could determine if your blade is heavy or if it's light. So, if your blade weighs less than 30 grams, that's basically useless. Do not use this blade in any single circumstance because it will get knocked out. You have no hope of winning with a Beyblade that's lighter than 30 grams. Now 30 to 33 grams are kind of unusable, but they are salvageable. Under 30, no it's not, but this is kind of usable, kind of, like a bit C, B tier, but it's not gonna be not good. Now 32 to 36 is when you see usable great Beyblades appearing in. Like for example, Gorlock, Wizard Rod, Helldiver, all in this range. And you should hope that your Beyblade has, like at least here, for any chance for it to be usable. Now, here is a great weight. You should have your Beyblade here. if your Beyblade is like 36 to 39 grams, there's a high chance it will be at least B tier. Like it's over B tier, always almost. Most grey Beyblades are in this range. And 39 plus, yeah, it's just broken. Like it's super heavy, but it's not weight, it's very, very heavy. They can knock your Beyblades easier out. And yeah, basically, they're very heavy. Now, usually there are very few Beyblades that go over this. And the best example is a CX Beyblade, which is Pegasus Blast on heavy. And that's basically the only good, the only very strong combination that's over 39 grams. Now, back to bits. Bits also have another feature, and that's modifiers. So, for an example, there is a bit called low flat. What this bit does is that it lowers the flat bit by 1 millimeter. Now, it still has the same amount of gears as flat. It still has the same width as flat. It's still flat in every single way, but it is 1 millimeter lower and it's slightly more aggressive. Now, there's also underbits. Underbits are 2 millimeters lower. High bits, which are 1 millimeter higher. Wall bits, which are also 1 millimeter higher, but also have like a protective wall. But yeah, and disc bits, which have a disc that adds 2 millimeters to it. Now, the only usable are the low bits. High bits are very, very much useless right now. I think any high bit is good currently. And the needle is kind of okay right now. And wall bits and these bits, they're too bottom heavy and burst way too easily. Now, there are also other modifiers, like for example gear bits. Gear bits have gears that protrude all the way to here, or rubber bits, where this part is made of rubber, or metal bits, where this part is made of metal. Now, I believe I covered everything important in this video. So smash like and subscribe, and see you next time. Silva Dagger out, I think. I don't know, I'm not new to this.